very rarely think about a zine that I want to make and then make it from there. I usually look at drawings or ideas or stories that I've kept and find a way to compile them and make them into something. The only zine that I really set out to make was the zine about my friend's suicide, which I just called M, which is the first initial of his name. That's the zine that I really intended to make, and I just try to compile as much as possible. But the other ones are kind of just things that crop up in my life that I feel like are worth publishing, like things that I've drawn with my friends or whatever. The humor things, I would draw those a lot. I would draw those during classes a lot. I haven't really sat down and drawn anything for a while because I usually I used to really draw like when I was still unmedicated for depression, so I do a lot of drawing for that. Now I'm medicated, so I don't find myself being driven as much to draw. So what I do, I've written quite a bit this year. I was doing a zine on education, but I didn't finish it in time. So, I mean, there's really no rhyme or reason to it. I'd say that it's really hit or miss, especially with the suicide zine and my comedic zine, like Kill Everyone with the Chainsaw. A lot of people pick that up and they think the cover they think it's about like, they think it's like essays about like social issues and things like that, and they open it up and it's a bunch of like goofy, sloppy drawings. And yeah, I know, right? So I don't know. I like to have very like flashy titles for the comedic zines to see if people pick them up, and they'll either open it up and smile or like open it up and be like, not for me. The same thing happens with the suicide zine. I usually introduce it to people as, I'll say like, I have comedy, I have fiction, I have how-to, I have cursing, I have this, which is like my only like social issue zine that I've like really completed, and I tell them about it, and they kind of like nod or like, they receive it. Gently. And other people. I had a girl today who was talking to me, and she's like, yeah, my friend committed suicide, and it's weird because I'm like gathering all this information about it. It's kind of a morbid thing to like keep pamphlets on. I'm like, no, I understand entirely. So she really got what it was about, just like gathering as many resources as you can about an idea, which is like was really helpful to me.
I just think it's really curious that somebody would look at a zine titled "Kill Everyone with a Chainsaw" and really expect something like see something serious.
Yeah, I know.
That's puzzling.
It's such. I picked it because it's such a ridiculous title.
Exactly.
And
you would think people would look at it and say, "Oh yeah, this is humor."
Yeah.
Expect laughter.
Yeah. I draw a bunch of that stuff, and it's really ridiculous, like ridiculous emotions, like the one fold out that's like, this Valentine's Day, kill your enemies, and like I'm not a violent person, I'm not normally aggressive or standoffish or approach people, but I just love to draw things like that because it's like, why the fuck not? And it's so much funnier when there's something absolutely so ridiculous like that title. So yeah, I don't understand why people expect something like pent up aggression or anything like that. Yeah, I would say last year was my first time coming to Zine Fest, and I walked around and traded myself my time with
Right,
you.
yeah.
And what I did was I had my suicide zine and I had my equivalent of Kill Everyone with a Chainsaw, which I call the Resident Girl series.
Yeah.
So I have like my comedic and my depressing as hell one. So I go to them, ask if they want to trade, and they're like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, so do you want funny or depressing? And they're like, I don't know, let me look at it. And they always picked the depressing one. And I wondered why people hesitated so much to pick up something that was humorous. And I think some people, the zine community carries a lot of really valuable messages, and that's why a lot of people come here. I like to look the social issues zines and things like that because they're really informative, but also funny things can be informative too, especially because they put those people think. So
You think about why it's funny.
yeah, why
You don't
it's
even
funny,
have to,
what it
but
means,
It can be
what it means to you. So yeah, I would say for people to be more open to looking at like the comics and the drawings and stuff because
they're definitely marginalized in this community. I mean, it's almost. I would say it's almost. People do. I feel as if people condescend to that. It's like, oh, he's doing silly drawings. Where's the vegan anger?
yeah.
You know. Which there's a place for it. Obviously, I like reading about that. It's, but I think you're right. I definitely. I mean, I would agree that there should be a little bit more open-mindedness. There's room for everything.
Yeah.
If we're going to talk about how a zine can be about everything, why can't we be more accepting of that?
Yeah, I mean, because
Accepting of other.
the whole point of making a zine is you have control over it and you make it yourself and you put out what you want to put out. So if I want to put out continuous line drawings of creatures with wheels instead of feet, why the hell not? And I think it would be cool when people see that. I don't know. I see there's a lot of voyeurism in this community also. Like the people, I have one called High School Voyeur, and they like to pick it up and read about found objects and found things. But what I would say is, if you just look at one of my zines, it's kind of a found object. It's like a profile of me and what I make. So I don't know. I don't know. I just see so many people buying my voyeurism zine, and I'm like, you can be a voyeur with my other stuff. Like I write about me. Like the suicide one has some really embarrassing crap about me, like touchy-feely crap about my ex-boyfriend. So I don't know.